Okay, so you're worried about one of your students. Let's call her Maria. She hasn't been acting like herself for the last several weeks. Her grades are falling, she looks tired all the time, and you think she's had the same t shirt on all week. She used to come into your class with a bunch of her friends, but now the other kids seem to ignore her, and she comes to class alone. You just got a writing assignment back from her in which she talks about this dark fantasy land where the only way you live is to die. You realize you're noticing some of the facts, warning signs. There's been a change in her appearance, her social interactions, her grades, and she's written something that sounds like dying to you. So what do? The best strategy is to make what's called a warm handoff. Get her to talk to the designated resource person in your school who can explore what's going on with her. They can figure out whether she needs some professional help or an immediate assessment for suicide. That's the handoff part. The warm part refers to how you do it. Here's some guidelines for making that warm handoff. First, know your referral source. The person or persons in your school who are responsible for handling these kinds of situations and what your school procedure is for making these types of referrals. Then approach Maria with your concerns. The easiest and least threatening way to do this is to simply ask Maria if you can speak with her privately for a moment after class. And then tell her you've noticed some things that have you concerned. Explain what you've seen. For example, you haven't been acting like yourself, Maria, for at least a couple of weeks. You seem distracted in class. Half the time, when I ask you a question, you don't even know I'm calling on you. Your grades are dropping. You hardly talk to your friends anymore. And your last writing assignment was really dark and morbid. What's going on? Be prepared for Maria to downplay your observations. Expect an answer like, "It's nothing," or "I don't know what you mean." Even if Maria continues to insist nothing is wrong, reiterate that you're concerned. Tell her you'd like her to speak with someone at school who's trained to talk with students that faculty members are concerned about. If you phrase it this way, you're not suggesting that Maria isn't telling the truth. You're putting the responsibility on yourself. Follow your school's procedure for making that referral. Whether you send Maria by herself or you go with her to the office of that designated staff person, it's important to communicate the reasons for your referral. This information is important. You want to show your concerns are based on the changes you've noticed in Maria over the last several weeks. Observations that are rooted in facts have much more weight than those that are rooted in feelings. Whatever strategy your school recommends for getting Maria to that designated staff person, remember to follow up with Maria. Give her a few days and then ask her how things turned out. Make sure you also check in with that referral person and ask if there's anything you should know to be able to help Maria in your classroom. Even if you don't get an answer because of confidentiality regulations, at least you followed up on your referral. So the bottom line is that when you notice things about students that concern you, don't jump to asking questions about suicide. As we explained when we talked about the warning signs, you don't have to be certain at all if suicide is a part of what's going on. Simply let the student know that you're concerned about them. Explain the reasons for your concern and let them know you're making a referral because you're worried. That's it. The warm handoff.